Niner Gang, what's happening? You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Jay Sr. Today's show is presented to you and powered by our friends at Magic Spoon. This is the healthiest and tastiest cereal out there, and you can get $5 off your checkout by going to magicspoon.com/49ers Report. Per serving and per bowl, under 200 calories, 13 to 14 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, 4 grams of net carbs. Use that link to get $5 off today. We start off with a signing made by the Niners in free agency. According to Adam Kaplan, they're bringing in a cornerback not named Richard Sherman. We'll get to Richard Sherman here in just a few moments. Adam Kaplan saying this on Twitter a little bit before we went live on today's show. With 49ers nickel cornerback K'Wan Williams dealing with a calf strain, the team is expected to sign veteran nickel cornerback Buster Skrine, source said. Rookie cornerback Diamador Lenore replaced Williams in last week's game against the Green Bay Packers. The expectation is that Williams could go on IR, so Buster Skrine could get immediate action. If you're watching at home, wherever you're watching, asking, who is Buster Skrine? What is he about? Where did he last play? Spent 2020 with the Chicago Bears. Here are his Pro Football Focus grades. Do not expect this guy to be a lockdown outside corner because he's, first of all, not a lockdown outside corner. He mostly plays in the nickel, and throughout his NFL career, since coming out of Tennessee at Chattanooga, he's really been just okay. His overall Pro Football Focus grade last year, little over 52, so that's pretty average. Pretty good against the run for a slot corner, and when you're playing in the slot, you do have to play up against the run game. Coverage grade of 46.2. He was targeted 52 times, which ranked 65 times, which ranked 52 in the National Football League last year, and gave up 51 receptions in coverage, which was tied for 21st. He did suffer a pretty serious concussion last year, which cost him a lot of games. I think that might have played into him being available for so long on the free agency market. But as we know, the Niners are very thin at the secondary spot, and they're bringing in Buster Skrine. My overall evaluation of him this year and in years past, he's really just a league average nickel. You put him in the nickel against some slot receivers, against some tight ends, and he can hold up somewhat well in coverage. He is very, very experienced, though, throughout his NFL career. Had a couple of really good years with the New York Jets, also played with the Cleveland Browns, 2020 with the Chicago Bears, a bevy of experience, 151 games, including 92 starts, 9 interceptions as well since he came into the league. A lot of you are probably asking, does this mean that Richard Sherman isn't coming to San Francisco? Or why don't the Niners go after Richard Sherman? This is a different position than Sherman plays. Sherman is an outside cornerback. Buster Skrine is a slot corner, so he plays inside. That's why the Niners have gone with Skrine to replace K'Wan Williams, who, as I mentioned, is probably going to go on IR. As for Richard Sherman, could he be going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? We're going to break down all of this reporting, which really got jump-started early on Tuesday morning as we record this. Richard Sherman, obviously he's a winning player, right? Made it to a couple of Super Bowls with Seattle. Made it to a Super Bowl with the Niners back in 2019. He's been working out to get himself ready and primed to make a return to the National Football League. A lot of Niners fans want him to come back to Santa Clara. He might be going to Tampa Bay as he continues to try and chase another ring. Tom Pelissero, NFL Network, saying this: 5-time Pro Bowl cornerback Richard Sherman is heading to Tampa for a visit with the Bucs, sources tell me and Ian Rappaport. Now, Ian Rappaport did have some additional reporting on top of what Pelissero had to say. He said this is the first free agent visit for cornerback Richard Sherman, and it happens today per me and Tom Pelissero. The Super Bowl champions are looking at making a key addition right before their showdown with the New England Patriots, Tom Brady against Bill Belichick, and it puts them in prime position to do so. That's the indication, the deal that could come to fruition soon. Greg Allman also saying this: I can confirm that 5-time Pro Bowl corner Richard Sherman is visiting the Bucs today. He's 33, has a history with Tom Brady, but the Bucs have injury issues at cornerback with Sean Murphy-Bunting and Jamel Dean, both injured right now. He would be a key addition for the defending Super Bowl champions. What's the theme here with Sherman? He's a future Hall of Famer, multi-time All-Pro, made it to a lot of Pro Bowls throughout his illustrious career. So because of that, a lot of contending teams are pursuing Sherman in free agency right now. Yes, he's 33, but 2 years ago, he was a Pro Bowl player. for the 49ers. Really a big component of that defense under Robert Saleh that helped lead them to the Super Bowl in that loss against KC. And I thought he was really good. Now, is Richard Sherman going to turn back the clocks 2 years ago to 2019 and once again be a Pro Bowl player? I don't know about that, but you can at least rely on him because of his experience and because of his abilities to hold up in coverage. 2019, 61 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 11 pass breakups. That's an elite number with 3 interceptions. And when you take a gander at the 49ers defensive back depth chart right now, they are very, very thin with K'Wan Williams hurt, Josh Norman, bruised lungs. He was spitting up blood overnight after that Sunday Night Football game after he went out in that first half. So right now, if a game were to be played tomorrow, this could be most of your starting secondary. We don't yet know the health status of K'Wan Williams, so he's still on this depth chart. But say you take him out, you put Skrine in there, Emmanuel Mosley, Jaquiski Tartt, Jimmy Ward, Josh Norman is expected to play on Sunday against Seattle. You can rely on Diamador Lenore. Ambry Thomas has been inactive the last 2 games, but certainly a lot of questions with this defensive backfield going up against a rejuvenated Seattle Seahawks offense that is pass happy under new offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. Kyle Shanahan did talk about the Niners secondary, specifically Dre Kirkpatrick, who the Niners signed a couple weeks ago. Could he be in action on Sunday? Possibly. Shanahan said this, all of this stuff, we're going to discuss it this afternoon. He said this on Monday. I really just finished with the players, but we have to be comfortable with whoever we have on the roster. And when you get there, whether it's running back or whether it's corner, it's next man up. He continued by saying this. The good thing about Dre Kirkpatrick is he's been in this league for a while, and he's been a number of places, and I've really enjoyed what I've seen from him the last 2 weeks since he's been here. But losing K'Wan for a few weeks, possibly Josh Norman, I know that stuff that John Lynch and everyone upstairs is working on all day. Do you think the Niners should be all in on Richard Sherman? Let me know in the comment section right now. Type Y for yes, type N for no. They certainly have a lot of questions in the secondary, so I'm going to submit my Y for yes. Be sure to get your votes in the comment section down below and let us know what you're thinking on this one. Today's show, like it's powered by Magic Spoon, also powered by our friends at BetUS. You can get a 125% deposit bonus by going to chatsports.com/49bet and entering the promo code Niners125. You put $100 into your account, you get an additional $125 back. That's $225 to game with. Maybe you want to take the Niners -3 at home against Seattle on Sunday. All right, now to a running back who I think the Niners should be very, very invested in through the trade market, Marlon Mack. He has requested a trade from the Indianapolis Colts. Pelissero has had a very busy day. He said this morning. The Colts and running back Marlon Mack have agreed to mutually seek a trade per sources. Mack is fully healthy after last year's Achilles tear, but Jonathan Taylor is the bell cow of the Indianapolis Colts in that backfield, and Nyheim Hines recently was extended. Mack is hoping for opportunities elsewhere. Marlon Mack has the perfect skill set to really feast, thrive, and flourish in Kyle Shanahan's outside zone scheme. Look back at the history of all the running backs who Kyle Shanahan has coached. Almost all of them have been very, very successful. And to be a successful running back in Shanahan's scheme, you have to be patient, but also you have to have good vision. And when a hole opens up, you have to hit it right away and also be a dual threat back who can tote the rock but catch balls out of the backfield. That's what Marlon Mack is. Now, he's coming off a torn Achilles. He did play last week, so he is back fully healthy from that Achilles tear, which is probably the worst injury that you can suffer nowadays. He was very, very good in 2019, though, before the arrival of Jonathan Taylor, who the Colts drafted out of Wisconsin. 247 carries, so he can be a bell cow. He rushed for more than 1,000 yards. He caught a bunch of passes as well out of the backfield for Frank Reich. 8 touchdowns, average yards per carry, 4.5. So if you put Marlon Mack in this offense on a Niners team that is depleted and injury ravaged at the running back spot, I think this would be a steal of a haul, and I think you can get Marlon Mack for a pretty good price. What would you do, Niner gang? Chime in, sound off, be the GM. I want you to be in John Lynch's shoes. Type T for I'd make that trade. Type P for pass. Let me know if you want to go after Marlon Mack. Make sure you subscribe to the 49ers Report on Sunday during our watch party, in which almost 40,000 people joined us throughout the night. We surpassed 41,000 subscribers. We are the largest 49ers news and rumors channel on YouTube. Free daily videos, live shows every Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. When breaking news happens, we have you covered within the hour, so hit that subscribe button down below and be a part of the Niner faithful family here at Chat Sports. Next up on the docket, lastly in this segment, is it time to play Trey Lance more? This is something that we talked about on Monday. It's something that I've really been racking my brain about, and I think the answer to that question is yes, and I think a lot of Niner fans are with me. Let's play a little game here. If Trey Lance plays more, I think he would add all of this to Kyle Shanahan's offense. I think he would make the offense more explosive because of his dual threat ability and his insane arm strength. I think he would make the offense less predictable because you don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to chuck it? Is he going to pull it down and run it? I think because of that dual threat ability, he would help out the run game because the offense would be less predictable, especially on some of those read options. The downfield pass game would improve because with Jimmy Garoppolo right now, when they try to push the ball downfield, everything just seems hard. And I think a lot of these drives would be less methodical. Nowadays in the NFL, you need explosive plays to give your offense a rest, to take some pressure off the defense, and Trey Lance can take the top off of the defense better than Jimmy Garoppolo, and he adds a different dynamic to this Niners offense because he's an elite runner with the football, but also he can really sling it at all three levels, short passes, intermediate, as well as long range. Tim Kawakami of The Athletic, who's been covering San Francisco sports for a very, very long time, agrees with a lot of what I'm saying. He said this in The Athletic. It's time for the 49ers to step into the future. Not all the way, not recklessly, but just a bit of a step and embrace the two-quarterback system I thought they were planning all along. It's time for Kyle Shanahan to think about opening up the Lance possibilities instead of worrying about the effect on Jimmy G. It's time for the 49ers offense to get a lot less predictable, and it's time to accept a few mistakes along the way. It's time to throw the dice out there just a few more times a game because who knows, that might turn into 20 or 30 plays a game and might create a whole new dimension of offense that, let's be clear, the 49ers look like they haven't really had so far up to this point of the season. Now, the whole plan moving forward for this organization is for Trey Lance to be the starter. Maybe at some point this year, definitely next year considering Jimmy Garoppolo's base salary. But how is Lance supposed to be ready to play if he's not getting any snaps and not playing at all? The best way to develop a young quarterback is for him to get experience and for him to get snaps. So that's why I say at the very least, Kyle Shanahan should at least implement Trey Lance for more plays and more Trey Lance packages because I think it helps his long-term development, but it also helps the offense right now become less predictable and more explosive. Those latter two things are two things I think the Niners really need right now. Do you want Lance to play more? That's what first-time producer of the 49ers Report, Trace Gerard, is cooking up for you right now. Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. I think the answer is 1. If you type 2 for no, I think you're crazy, but it's all good. We can agree, even though nowadays in the United States, we don't always agree or disagree enough.